How to make your Metahuman a playable character. Open up the blueprint of your Metahuman. Head to Class Settings and on the right side select Character as your parent class. Now go back to your viewport and on the left side you can actually delete the root and then select the body and drag it onto the mesh. Now select your body again and drag your Metahuman into the mesh. Make sure to rotate it towards the blue arrow and then hit compile and you will get an error message. You are missing the target, which can be easily fixed by opening up the arrow and then dragging your mesh into the scene. Then connect it with the target and voila, you can now hit compile without an error. We will now need to open up the third person blueprint. And if you don't have the third person template in your project, you can simply go to add, then this option right here, and then choose the third person template. Now let's open up the third person blueprint and let's copy the camera boom and the follow camera. Paste them into the Metahuman blueprint, and on top of that we actually need something else from the character blueprint. So let's go back over there once again, into the event graph, select all these options, copy them and paste them into your Metahuman blueprint. You will get a message where some functions are missing references. Simply select the second option and hit confirm. Now we have the move and the aim functions, which are both still empty. So let's fix that by copy them once again from the character blueprint. So let's select them all, copy them, then paste them, and then actually connect them, right? So the x-axis goes right here, the y-axis goes right here, and this one goes right here. And then for the aim function, we will also copy them from the third person blueprint. So let's select them, copy them, go back. And this time the x-axis goes into the value option and the y-axis goes into the option below. Alright, now we can close this and head to the world settings. By the way guys, I just realized I have a compile error. This is the exact same one from the beginning and for some reason the mesh didn't connect with the target in my case. So don't be confused, you don't need to have a compile error. So we now need to go to the world settings, and if you can't find these world settings right here, simply go to the window and then enable the world settings. In these settings we are going to search for game and then we're going to enable the third person game mode, and by default we have the character in the third person game mode, and we can now just simply drag and drop our Metahuman blueprint into this pawn class. Then save everything and let's run the game. And as you can see, we now have a Metahuman as our character, but no animations and the movement feels very weird. We can fix it by simply opening up the blueprint of our Metahuman once again. Now we will search for yaw and make sure this option is not enabled. And then we can head to the character movement on the left side, select this one and then search for rotation. And make sure that this option right here is enabled. All right, then hit compile, save, and now the movement looks much better, much cleaner, much smoother, but we are still missing the animations, which we are gonna do right now. And for that, we actually need to open up the third person blueprint once again, and then select our character in the viewport, exactly. And on the right side, under animations, we can find the animation class. So we can locate it and then we see the animation class, we right click on it and then we can retarget these animations. So we're going to select our Metahuman body and select the unarmed animation class, then export these animations. So I'm going to export them to my Metahuman. I'm going to create a new folder really quick. And to distinguish them from the other animations, we can, in the suffix whatever, we can type in Metahuman and then export it, hit export, and we are good to go. So now we have all the animations for our Metahuman and we can simply import them by opening up the Metahuman blueprint. Now we can select her body, and in the animation class we can now search for Metahuman, and then it should be unarmed Metahuman right here. Great. Now we have the animations for our Metahuman. And as you can see, the animations work, but the feet look weird. And the reason for that is that our Metahuman has IK feet. And we can fix that by, let's save everything beforehand, opening up the blueprint once again. We're going to select the body of our Metahuman, and we're going to locate the skeletal mesh. Let's open it up and head to the skeleton. Now I have at the preview the shoes, so let's select the right preview. And on the left side, we can now select the root, right click and choose add virtual bone. We're going to choose root as the virtual bone. And now we can rename it as IK foot. Great. Now we can right click again, add virtual bone once again. And now we're going to search for foot. So we're going to select the right foot and do the same for the left foot as well. And now we have our IK feet. So let's save everything, and on the right side we can now open up the animation class of our Metahuman. And when we open up the animation graph and select the control rig, we can then on the bottom see which control rig class is used by our Metahuman. We locate it and then we duplicate this one. So we create our own one. And we're going to name this one Metahuman IK foot. All right. And now we can open this up and we can actually change the character with our Metahuman. So let's right click, choose refresh and select the Metahuman body right here. And now it closed. This sometimes happens for some reason. So let's get out of here and open it up once again. And as you can see now, the Metahuman body is in the preview. So let's zoom in and search for all the red bones. These are arrows. We now need to change them with our newly created feet. So let's search for IK foot and choose the left one. Now do the same for the right one and do this one for all the remaining bones. So IK foot left and IK foot right. Great. And then one more. Yes, right here, IK foot left. And notice in the preview how the feet are already changing. And now they are set and done. We can now compile, hit save. And now we need to change the control rig class in our animation blueprint. So let's go back there, select the control rig, and now choose the control rig class that we just created, which is Metahuman foot IK right here. All right, now hit compile and save. We are now done with creating the IK feed. But when I try to play, I still get an error in the animation blueprint. So let's fix this error really quick. Because when I open this up and select the control rig, we can actually see that there's no control rig class added. And we can fix that by simply adding the one we just created. So Metahuman foot IK. There we go. Now hit compile and save. I don't know if this error will occur to you, but whatever. Now when we play, there is our Metahuman. And that's how you make your Metahuman a playable character.